So in this video, I'm going to be doing a story time. Since my birthday is coming up, I decided that I am going to do a story time recounting some of like my best birthdays, or birthdays that would, my best birthdays. Birthdays where people made my birthday real special for me. I'm also killing two birds with one stone because I got a lot to do and I'm already tired. So I will be eating and drinking on this video. If you don't like to see people chewing and talking, you can just go ahead and click on off. But if you want to, pull up and, hear my story time, feel free to stay. So, let me get this off my screen. So yeah, I think maybe I should have a little table or something. But I think, oh, I got on a different hoodie, y'all notice. But I think I'm going to start with the first birthday I had when I was in where someone else celebrated me. It wasn't just me, I was celebrating myself. My first birthday when I was at BCOT, which is a training to be a correctional officer. Yes, I used to be a correctional officer. I was a correctional officer for 4 years at a male's facility. And while I was in training, the girls who I had three roommates, and then it was three girls on the other side of our room, and I didn't know all of them had planned to surprise me when I got back to the room after we all got done with the training for the day. For some way it just worked out to where I was the last one to enter in, and they had balloons and cupcakes and stuff waiting for me, little treats, and they sung happy birthday. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. So yeah, that was the first time I ever had somebody do something like that for me, and I really appreciate it. I'm trying not to cry, but it was so sweet. And then what happened? Just to be thought of just makes you feel so good. And then when was the next time? I think, okay, the next time was like maybe like what was that? That was in 2012. So the next time was like 2015. In my last relationship, he was on the phone. It was my birthday. It was during a weekday, and I ain't never been like, I'm kind of like, if we can, like, when it comes to stuff like that, when I'm in a relationship, it's like, if we can, we can, if we can, we can't, or whatever. I want to, but that's how I used to be, like, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm sticking to telling my birthday story. So, it was a weekday, and he was working. He worked 10-hour shifts, and he was doing like real like hard work and stuff like that. So he would be real tired when getting off and stuff or whatever. And at this time, it was a long distance relationship. He stayed 2.5 hours away from where I stayed. And he was on the phone with me after he got off work, which was like, he usually got off work like 6, 7 o'clock. So as soon as he got off work, he called me, and he was like, I'm sorry I couldn't, come see you for your birthday. And I think for whatever reason we couldn't do it the weekend before my actual birthday or the weekend after. For some reason, I don't know. I don't remember. One, because I'm tired and it was a long time ago. But anyway, so we're just on the phone, just talking. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I understand. It's the middle of the week. You got to work. Like, why would I expect you, to take time off of that? Like, I get it. Little did I know that the whole time he was on the phone with me, that he was driving to my house, which is 2.5 hours away. And he still had to be at work in the next morning. He has to be at work at like 6:30 in the morning. So that means, so he got up at like 7, went to his house, picked up whatever he had got me, switched his cars, came down, and surprise me with gifts. Because I was like, somebody was knocking on, I was on the phone with him and somebody was knocking on the door. I said, somebody knocking on my door. He was like, who knocking on your door that late? I was like, I don't know. I said, but stay on the phone with me because I'm scared. And I peeped, well, I didn't see him in a peep, I couldn't see him in a peephole, so I opened the door. And I looked around the corner and it's him. He had the gifts he got me and some flowers and some balloons. And I was just like, really? I tackled that man. I jumped all over him and, really showed my appreciation for my man. But, so he got there around like 10 o'clock. He didn't get any sleep. Got up and left at 4:30. And yeah, so that was very thoughtful of him and kind of dangerous too, because you driving like that and that's not getting no rest and on the road driving that length, that long drive. Like, I appreciate it, but be safe. But yeah, I felt real special. I felt like somebody, you know. And then when was the next time? Okay, so the next time was in 2021. Yeah. Was it 2021? Had to be, because it was a little after COVID. Yeah, it was definitely 2021. So 2021, this guy, and there's a whole story behind it, and I'll tell that story another time. But this guy that I had been liking for a long time, we finally got to, explore and see where it could go. But he stayed in Illinois. Was it? No. Indiana. He lived in Indiana, and I stay in Georgia. So it was the same setup. I was on the phone with him the whole day, not knowing that he was driving down 10 hours one way, and he showed up at my door and surprised me too. And we went out to eat, and this man drove 10 hours with a toothache to pop up on me and surprise me for my birthday. He was a good man, Savannah. He was a good man. But anyway, so, and I'll tell the story about why me and him didn't go further in another video, but we just talking about birthdays right now. So he came, he celebrated, stayed for a few days, and like, those few days that he stayed was like everything. Like, I just used to like to talk to him, be in his presence. Like, it just seemed like he, like, I don't know, it's like, I can't describe it, but that was the third, was it birthday number 3? Yeah, birthday number 3 was somebody did something real thoughtful and special, really truly considered me. Okay, so next, and this got to be, and I appreciate both of those, you being driving, out the way for me to show up and pop up and surprise me. But I think this one right here is my favorite. 2022. I decided to go to New York for New York Fashion Week. And the guy who came and saw me in 2021, although we decided that, we were not going to pursue like a romantic relationship. At that time, I was still going through that phase of where I wasn't sure if I wanted to be in a relationship. I knew that I liked him and I cared for him, but I just had a lot to work out within myself before I felt like I could really move forward with somebody in a relationship. But anyway, like I said, we'll get into it another time. But at the time I was like, dang, this is a good guy. I don't know if I really want to let this go. Like, I just got to see. So I called him up and invited him to go to New York to celebrate my birthday with me. And, he was like, yeah, I'll go with you. So we went together, and I was trying to get my best friend to go too, because New York Fashion Week, and whatever. She was like, I ain't gonna be able to make it. I was like, okay, all right, I forgive you. And then she said, so the night before, I think it was the night. It was the night before the flight left. I wasn't done with my hair, and she came over to help me finish my hair. She's like, since I can't go, at least I can come help you finish your hair. So she came, helped me finish my hair. You know, her and my mama was both like, go get your man, because they knew that I was trying to go back and try to win him over or whatever. So we had that little conversation or whatever, and then me and him, we got there, we enjoyed, we went out, he took me out to eat for my birthday, had this whole little, I guess, I didn't see when he was able to, I don't know if he called ahead and told them, you know, about it being my birthday, but he had them have a little setup or whatever at the place that we went and ate at. It was an expensive place too, child. It was nice. It was so nice. I was like, I invited you here to win you back. Well, he didn't know that was my intent. But that's why I'm thinking to myself, I invited you here to try to win you back, and you doing all this for me? So I was like, okay. It might be something there still. But anyway, so I don't know if it was the night of or the next day. I think it was, yeah. Was it? Yeah, it was the next day, because the first day we got there, we kind of just like went to this night show, went out to eat, and then came back and kind of chilled in the room and talked or whatever, caught up, because it had been a few months since we talked outside of me inviting him to come to New York with me. So the next day, we just kind of lounged around too. We went out, we had breakfast, we had lunch, you know, just exploring the little, you know, areas around New York. And then nighttime come, but when we was a little bit before we had started getting ready to bounce around from show to show, because it's a New York Fashion Week, my the people at the front desk called me down. They was like, can you come down real quick? We need to talk to you. And I was like, oh God, what happened? So I get down there and I go to the front desk to see what the issue was. And then the people at the desk they were just standing there looking awkward and weird, not saying nothing. I was like, y'all just call me down here. And I looked to the side and I was getting ready to look back at them, and I was like, you know, my eyesight is kind of bad. I have to wear glasses. I don't wear them like I should, but my eyesight was blurry. But I was like, is it two women sitting over there at that table looking at me crazy? Because they had the same little smirk on their face that the people at the counter had. And I was like, and then I realized who it was. It was my best friend and her friend. And I just started bouncing up and down, screaming like a little child. And I was like, this helper done tricked me, done fooled me, and popped up on me in New York. I don't know how she swung that. But yeah, like, she flew out to see me. They helped me celebrate my birthday. That made me feel so special. And in case you're wondering, y'all didn't ask, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I didn't let the man that came with me on the trip, I didn't let him know my intent was to win him back when I invited him on the trip. And I didn't let him know because one of those mornings when we was out having breakfast, he had his phone on the table, and I could see that another girl was texting him. And even though he was respectful enough not to respond while we was having breakfast, I guess he waited till later when I wasn't around to respond. But I could see that, you know, I glimpsed, and I could see that the conversation was like one of those type things. So I didn't feel like he deserved that, for me to disrupt what he had going on. Like, and he had full integrity with me. We had a conversation when we decided to part ways before I invited him on the trip. And we had been in communication for a few months. He wasn't trying to pursue me. He wasn't trying to do nothing deceptive or crazy like that. So when I seen that he was engaged with another young lady, and I knew that I still was undecided about whether I wanted to be in a commitment like that, I didn't even bother him, because why would I come back and shake stuff up for him if he got something good going on with somebody? So I was just like, I'll just enjoy my time with him here and, you know, let him get back to that. Because it ain't fair for me to not be sure and then be trying to get in the way of what they possibly got going on. So I was like, okay. Now, had he been lying to me or still trying to pursue me while dealing with this other girl, that might be a whole nother story. But thank God, some men really do have integrity when it comes to stuff like that. So, what else? Oh yeah, that was the last thing. So, yeah. Good times, good times. Good times. Like, it's a good feeling when people show up for you, but it's an even better feeling when people go out of their way to show up for you. Yeah. So those are my birthday stories, and that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next week or two. Just sharing stories about, you know, my experiences with certain stuff. This was the shortest probably video in the story series. So tomorrow I'll be back and I'll be telling a story about my crazy experiences when traveling outside of the US and dealing with men. So I don't know if I named any patterns or lessons in this video, but if I did, feel free to take what you need and leave the rest. If this is your first time here, my name is Latrice. Here's where I think out loud, reflect honestly, and name patterns that keep us stuck. And I will be back tomorrow.